listening to Jai Long, and this is Make Your Break. Whether you're a big-hearted creative or an aspiring entrepreneur, let's take action on your dreams, reconnecting you with your why and giving you the how. I'm here to dish out actionable mindset tips and fun industry secrets to help you blow up your biz. From eye-opening reality checks to motivational gold, no two episodes are ever the same. So tune in weekly, skip the FOMO, and let's dive into the deep together. Hey, welcome back to Jai's Rants on the podcast show, Make Your Break. I hope you've been well. Hey, today I actually just want to talk to you from my little walk that I'm going on in Oslo. I'm just walking along the water, so you're probably going to hear birds and probably a little bit of wind and people walking past, and maybe a few boats. And I'm sorry about all that. I just wanted to get on and have a little bit of a deeper conversation with you because I know so many people right now are a little bit frustrated with Instagram as an app and platform and where it's heading. And I think I like to bring a different perspective. And I know my perspective is usually unpopular. It's probably one of the reasons why, like, as a coach, I don't grow that fast or that big. I get a lot of people results, the people obviously that listen. But then in the majority, I think my career kind of suffers a little bit because I like to sort of go against the grain and people don't like to hear things that they don't like to hear, right? But today, I want to talk about the Instagram app because everybody is sort of like getting a little bit worried that it's forgetting photographers, it's forgetting designers, it's forgetting all the small businesses as it turns into a video platform and as it becomes a bit of a content machine. You know, it becomes really hard because it really wants us to keep shoveling coal into the steam engine so then our businesses can keep going. Now, before I give you my different perspective, and if you don't like my perspective, that's totally fine. I just want to give you something totally different, that's all. So, you know, if you're against it or you're for it, it doesn't really matter. I think it's worthy of a conversation and us sitting down together and talking about this stuff. But the first thing I want to say is I totally get it. Like, I totally get why you'd be afraid and scared of how it's moving away from what it was, which was a photo sharing platform. I don't know if you guys remember, but I joined Instagram in, I think, 2012, 10 years ago. And, you know, I used to use Instagram filters and there was no stories back then. And there was like Instagram communities and stuff. And I loved it. It was such a fun app. Today, it's very different. As I obviously get older, I've been on there for 10 years now. And as a new generation comes through and they use programs and software differently, they use apps differently, they use social media differently than how I did when I was, you know, when I first got an iPhone. I remember when they came out. I remember when Instagram first came out and things were very different back then. Now, I totally get it because you're an artist and you're a photographer and you've built up a platform and it's comfortable and you know exactly what to do and how to post and who's going to like your posts. Oh, these birds are so loud. Who's going to like your posts? You like carousels, you like single posts, you like landscape, you like portrait, and you're probably a photographer or maybe you're a designer or maybe you just love posting photos on Instagram. And as an artist, it's just really a simple and an amazing way to share your work just by posting it on Instagram, like a single image, right? And not all of us love reels, not all of us love videos, not all of us love watching them, not all of us love showing up on reels or videos, and that's okay as well. My different perspective very much comes down to fully understanding all those things, and I want to give you just a few little stories. When I first started as a wedding photographer, I got on Instagram, and I believe I was actually one of the first on Instagram in terms of doing it for my business. Like, I seen it as a business app instantly. And I remember back in those days, in 2012, people didn't see it as a business app. People seen it as like, no, you take a photo on your phone and then you put an iPhone filter on it and it looks great. And then you share it. And that's pretty much all it was. So when it started getting more and more popular, a lot of the photographers at the time would turn to me as I was getting more followers and they used to tell me how much they hate Instagram. And they're like, no, I'm never going to get on Instagram. Like, I don't need it. I hate it. I'm going to keep my shop front, you know, or I'm going to keep advertising in the paper. And the older generation, and especially at that time, there actually a lot were on Facebook. So they were getting big on Facebook. And there was a lot of people that had, I don't know if you remember this, but there was a lot of photographers that had big followings on Facebook, believe it or not. Facebook pages used to be a thing. and you used to follow your favorite photographers and they would have thousands of comments and thousands of likes. Those people didn't like the fact that Instagram's coming out, making it easier for photographers to enter the market and just show their photos. Now, needless to say, a lot of those photographers back then, I remember those photographers, people either fought against Instagram and decided to stay the way that they wanted to stay. And needless to say, most of those people are not around today in terms of their business. Their business kind of died because they fought so hard and put so much energy into trying to fight it and stay on Facebook and stay on the old ways that they were doing because they were comfortable and it was easy. And the people that adapted real quick are the ones that actually grew huge followings. So there's a lot of people on Instagram right now that have massive followings. They probably don't get many likes, but they get big followings because they were early adopters and they jumped on. They've seen that things were changing and they adapted, they pivoted, they learned a new platform and then they loved it. And then it was so easy for them to post photos and share photos. And it was a new era that was just born in the photography scene, in the creative scene. And it exploded the industry because all of a sudden people could see what other photographers are doing. People were sharing tips and tricks. It made us feel more connected with the community. It felt like we weren't alone anymore. It was just like so many amazing things. So amazing. And what happened was a lot of these people, including myself, I could have never have made it in the industry if Instagram didn't come around, really. Not as quick as I did because things needed to change to open up a new space for the newbie photographers. So then the big old dogs that were like the photographers forever that were recommended by every venue and they had, TV ads and radio ads and they had, newspaper ads and had everything else going on. They had a shop front. Like they lost. So then the next generation, the next wave could come up and take market share. And they did in a fast way. You've seen like myself, the millennials, like we took over. And then the old school way of photography, it slowly, it died really fast. It really did. And there's a lot of, for me, I think like a lot of happiness and a lot of sadness because the happiness was like, there was a lot of things that I didn't agree with and I felt like it was so old school and it was time to evolve, and a lot of sadness because a lot of people lost their businesses. And that's just the way that it was. Now today, I always talk about you need to pivot and you change because business, the only constant that you have is change. And I know a lot of entrepreneurs, you can see the ones that jump in and they change real fast and things change. They adapt to a new way. And then you always see the majority of people that feel hard done by because they don't want to change. And then their business slowly dies. Now, change is so important for a lot of different reasons. One reason is, hey, I have lots of followers on Instagram. And it's time for me to lose my followers. Not lose my followers, but it's time for younger photographers and other people to come up and start getting noticed, right? It's so important. And so if I jump on TikTok today, there's young photographers that have just started out that have hundreds of thousands of followers and they're doing amazing things. They're changing the way that the industry is working and the way that we advertise, the way that we market, our digital marketing and stuff. And I just marvel at it. I think it's so incredible. And that's my mindset. When someone else's mindset sees it as a threat, like, oh, we're going to lose the battle. This is it. It's all over. And the problem is it is all over if you decide it to be. Because if you want to fight for what used to be, you'll always know that's a losing battle. It really is. And if you just put that same attention and energy into adapting to the new way that anything runs, it's really easy for your business to keep going. Now, before I say anything here, I'm not telling you to go out and make reels and do videos and stuff. I want to give you a new perspective. The first perspective is, you should always know Instagram is a free app, right? And we sometimes feel so entitled that we complain that we use a free app and it's changing. They're changing their own app and we're using it for free. And we complain that they send us ads and all this kind of stuff. And we have the wrong toxic mindset around a business. When really, imagine if Instagram wasn't around, and imagine if you didn't get the traction and the jobs that you got from Instagram. And you're looking at a glass that's half empty right now by saying that you hate Instagram and you hate the changes and you hate all this stuff and they shouldn't be doing that to you and everything else. But really, like, hey, this app has brought you a lot. I know it has. I know it's brought me a lot. So many deep connections, so many best friends. It's such a big community. So much work, so much money, so much income, so many opportunities, like so many things. It really has. And every day I'm grateful that it's still here. I'm grateful, but I'm also aware it won't be here forever. I'm aware that I can't build my business on one platform like Instagram. I'm aware that if you do that, you're building on a house of cards, and at any second, that app can just go offline and your business will go offline if you decide and wish to build it on one platform, one app. And that's the only marketing that you do. Now, inside the Six-Figure Business Map, and that's my coaching program, I've actually worked with so many thousands of photographers now. And what's interesting is I see a photographer jump on and they will find a new marketing strategy and they'll build a whole business off it. So for instance, I was talking to Kevin the other day and we did a podcast episode together. It's on Facebook ads if you want to go listen to it. But he hasn't got followers on Instagram. And he decided when he joined the course that he was just going to learn Facebook ads. He's going to obsess over it for a year. So he did obsess over it. And then he got big results. And then the result was he booked $250,000 worth of work. And that's amazing. And he did it all because he empowered himself with a new platform in a new way. While most photographers were all on Instagram, most creatives on Instagram, he decided to pivot and change because not many photographers, believe it or not, actually do Facebook or Instagram ads. They just don't. And I see it all the time. Like they actually just don't. They just don't understand it. Now, I was talking to another photographer the other day and talking about how he gets just leads just from LinkedIn because there's no other photographers there. So he will do a big blog post on LinkedIn and his inner circle will see it. And then from that, it results in tons of leads and then word of mouth gives him more word. Now, I was talking to someone else and they just get leads every single day from TikTok. A newer photographer, they're just blowing up right now and they're like, man, TikTok is just where it's at. Instagram, there's no leads there, right? I've got another friend that just gets work from Facebook. That's it, just from Facebook. It's amazing. Now, the point of the story is, inside the Six-Figure Business Map, I teach marketing, but I teach so many different ways. And my big thing is you need to have, I call it a lead a day. You need to have a lead a day, so 5 days a week, working days, but each lead needs to come from a new source. Now, if your business right now, all 5 leads come from Instagram, then I can see why you'd be scared. And I'd be scared as well, because you did build your house on house of cards. Like that's just the way it is. And as soon as that app and that platform disappears, your business disappears because your reputation, your everything is on that platform. So it's important for you to make sure that you empower yourself with marketing, especially in times of change, right? Now, if you're an entrepreneur and you love marketing, or even if you don't love marketing, one of the biggest things is when there's change, there's opportunity. When people are complaining, there's big opportunities, big money when people complain, because you can solve big problems. And if people are complaining right now about Instagram changing, there's big opportunities. There just is. There's new ways. There's new things happening right now. Because I bet you have clients right now that also don't like Reels. And they also don't like showing up on video, on their phones. And that's okay. And maybe they're changing platforms. And maybe that's where your clients are, right? So we don't, and this is an important message for you, you don't need to be famous and a celebrity on TikTok. You don't need to be famous and a celebrity on Instagram. You don't need to have thousands of followers or millions of followers. You don't actually need that. Not for a successful business. Not for a six-figure business. Like that's not what you need at all. You need to have the knowledge to be able to withstand times of change. You need to have an open mindset. A fixed mindset is always going to kill a business. If you just think everything should be the same and things are always going to be the same, hey, you're going to lose the game so quickly. That's just business. And I know I'm talking to a lot of artists right now in this podcast. I know I'm talking to creatives. And a lot of us, we hate change and we don't like business. And I get it. And I'm giving you an insight right now. I'm a business coach and I'm a business person. That's what I do. I love business. I make good money from business. And these are the things that I think about. And I'm giving you an insight, my thoughts on what's happening right now. Right now, there's more opportunities than ever before. Because think about this. I know, not just just a couple of months ago, people were saying the biggest thing on Instagram, Jai, that I hate is it's really hard to grow a following. It's so hard. And so now Instagram's changed. And it's easier than ever before to grow a following because the algorithm's changed, and so they want people to create content in a new way. So there's a whole new opportunity right here in front of you, and you could seize it if you decide, or you could die if you decide. Your business could die, and it's up to you. This is the choices that you have. Now, the other thing is, as a business owner, I just want to give you a tip here. There's 2 really important people on your ship, and in the Six-Figure Business Map, I talk about it's like a pirate map, right, to your success. I talk about it having a pirate ship, basically. So the most important people on that ship is the captain, of course. The captain's got to steer the ship. But it's also the spotter. The person's at the top of the ship that looks ahead and can see, can see land, can see icebergs, can see pirates on the horizon, and is always looking around. Now, in my analogy, this is the same as looking for trends. Does that make sense? So you're looking for trends. So for me, in the last 12 months and in the business, I've been telling everybody, video's the way. That's what's going to happen. Instagram's going to turn into a video platform. It's going to. It has to. The reason being is because if you go on any platform right now, you could go on, I'm pretty sure even LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, TikTok, Instagram, basically all of them. They all have reels on it now. All of them do. They're not doing that because people don't want to create that content or because people don't consume the information that way. They love consuming information that way. In fact, even Google now is showing reels for search and as a search engine. And TikTok will become a search engine. That's a thing. Okay. You heard it here first. That's a thing. And this is the way that things are evolving. Now, that's why, about a year ago, 2 years ago, I started going into video because I've seen that things are going to change this way and we need to adapt. Now, you don't need to. You don't have to make videos. There's so many different ways that you can do things. So, for instance, you can make slideshows and you can put music to it. You could just post a photo as a video that goes for 3 seconds with no music or no nothing, and that's it. And that's the same as doing a post. And people will watch it and you'll get lots of views. And you will grow a big following because the views will go up and up. That's a hack for you. Instead of complaining, we can learn these things. Why don't I just post all my photos as a video? It's got more real estate. You can post a big photo then. It's an awesome way. In fact, you could actually post a photo of your favorite song. That's a great way, right? We don't need to be doing videos, as in talking to cameras and things like that. Now, one important thing is when things do change, it's about working on your mindset, but also working on your craft. Now, here's the thing. I love doing reels and I love talking to my camera for one big reason. I'm always obsessed with my craft, right? I'm a business coach. I love teaching at workshops. I love talking at podcasts. I love talking at conferences. I love being a public speaker. I love being asked to speak at big events. And so for me, I see it as I can stand there and I can talk to my camera, or I can make videos for social media. And all it is me perfecting my craft. It's so I can deliver a better story, so I can deliver some content, so I can get people results, so I can feel more confident talking in front of people, so I can extrovert myself into the world even though I'm an introvert. These are the skills that this platform has given me. Now, maybe you're a photographer, maybe you're a designer. If you just obsess over your craft, people are going to take notice. Instead of obsessing over feeding the machine and making more reels, obsessed over taking better photos, obsessed over taking better content, obsessed over perfecting your craft, trying something new, and posting it wherever you want to post it, posting it however you want to post it. Because if you obsess over things like that, your work is going to get so much better. People are going to see how passionate you are. You're going to get so much more reach, and you're going to be so much more proactive than obsessing over the problem that you have right now, which is a platform that you love is now changing. Does that make sense? It's time better spent. And trust me, it's so hard to go and swim upstream when everybody's going downstream. And it's so much easier for you to find a space in the world that works for you. Get obsessed with your craft, create the work that you want to create, and show the people that actually love the stuff that you do. And that's what it's all about. Give yourself some grace. Remember, you don't need to be famous on TikTok. You don't need to be dancing on Instagram. You don't need to be making those reels. It's just not what you need to do. You don't have to do these things. And I know a lot of gurus will tell you that you have to be doing it, but you can post it in different ways. Maybe use this chance to start putting together slideshows to perfect your storytelling. Maybe you make wedding albums and people see your photos that way, and you make incredible albums that tell beautiful stories, that start with establishing shots, and it sets the mood and it does everything. You can do that now with reels. It's an amazing way. Maybe you can better your storytelling through the way that you tell stories on social media, right? There's so many different things that we can do there. What we don't need to do is try as hard as we can to be the same as everybody else. And you know how this looks? It's like trying to find trending piece of audio to post the same as everyone else, just in case, just so we need to be the same as everybody else. Now, the definition of marketing is standing out, and the worst thing you can do for your business is play it safe and try and fit in. And trying to fit in by trying to do what everyone else is doing, because you're going to have anxiety, you're going to have overwhelm. It's going to be really hard for you to stand out when you're literally trying to fit in. Does that make sense? So I want you to think about that. I want you to give yourself some grace. I want you to give yourself some space. I want you to work on your mindset. Realize that maybe right now you have the wrong mindset. Maybe you've got a fixed mindset. Maybe right now is the time for you to be the captain of your ship, to show up for your community, and to actually make a change in your business and see how it can actually work for your business. Because when things change, there's more opportunities than ever before. And right now, I'm telling you right now, there's more opportunity right now than has ever been before on the whole planet. There's more ways you can connect with people. There's more ways you can connect on a deeper level as well. There's more people in your community cheering you on. You're more connected than ever. You've got more education than ever. You can listen to people like myself. You can listen to my thoughts. I couldn't do that. When I was starting out, I couldn't listen to the people that was 2 steps ahead of me. There wasn't podcasts for photographers. People forget that. There just was not. Or for entrepreneurs. I couldn't listen to my favorite photographer. I had to pay a lot of money to go and watch him at a workshop. I couldn't pick people's brains. We weren't connected like this. So right now, where can you find your tribe, your community? How can you serve them at a higher level? How can you move past the fact that everybody around you is complaining? How can you be that phoenix that rises, that takes and seizes this opportunity? Because after the fact, you'll realize that there was an opportunity there, and then you're going to hate yourself for never actually jumping on it and never actually putting your time and energy into the right thing. Now, if this resonates with you, I'm glad, and I know I'm talking to you because you're a creative entrepreneur and you're out there and you're hustling, you're looking for a new mindset and you're looking for a new perspective. If this triggers you, then I'm sorry. You've got a lot of work to do, and that's okay, because mindset stuff takes a long time. And understand, this is really hard. It's fucking hard to change. I've got to tell you that. It really is hard. And it's taken me a long time to learn that everything changes. I adapt and I pivot. I learned it when I was young, when, I had friends pass away or my dad passed away. I just know that things end, things change, things end, and we need to be able to adapt, grow, pivot, evolve, because if we're not doing that, then we're shrinking, we're dying, and we're contracting, right? We need to expand. You need to expand. So if this episode helped you, I'm glad. If you want, you can share it on social media. If you want to share it with some friends and family, put it on Instagram. I don't know, put it on Instagram. I know so many people need to hear a message like this. The right people need to hear it, right? I know this will never get popular because it's not for the masses. This is for you, not the masses. And you are not the average. You are the person that's going to make something happen, that's going to stand out, that's going to take responsibility, that's going to step up as the captain of your ship. You're going to make a change, and you're going to learn the spot, the opportunity that's right in front of you. You're going to see it, you're going to seize it, and you're going to obsess over your craft, and you're going to take yourself to another level. Hey, thanks for listening. I'm on holidays right now. I'm literally walking around Oslo, Norway, looking at all the birds. I'm actually watching, I don't know what type of bird that is, but it's eating a starfish. I've never seen a bird eat a starfish before. It's really weird. So that's what I'm watching right now. So I'm just on holidays. I'm just enjoying some sun. I wanted to check in and say hi to everyone. I know there's so much uncertainty right now. I know so many of us, we're feeling scared of change and everything. And I just wanted to say to you, change is okay. Expect it. It's coming. It's here. Everything always changes, and it's totally fine. And it's time for us to change and adapt and pivot and work on our mindsets and see where we can find our happiness and our place in the world. But thanks for sharing that episode, and I'll see you soon.